Hey YouTube. Alright, so today is Friday. I just got off work and got over here to the Grand Dam storage. So yesterday I got on eBay, I paid for the 5-speed transmission. So now it is paid for. I just have to go pick it up tomorrow in Kansas. So tomorrow morning I'm going to be leaving and going out to Kansas. It's like a two and a half hour drive out to Wichita. So I'm going to be going out there, getting the transmission and coming back. And then I also got on ZZ Performance and I ordered the modular hub for the supercharger for my pulley. So I took the 3/4 pulley off of the 07 supercharger and brought it over here. So now I just got to get the modular hub bolted on or pressed on, and then I can bolt the pulley on. And this engine's pretty much complete. And so next thing I got to do is I've got to drop off that flywheel, but I want to go get the transmission first. And plus I'm pretty much already about broke after paying for the transmission and gas and cigarettes and stuff. So still got to get oil for both the engines. Still got to get transmission fluid. Gonna have to get more antifreeze. I'm sure there's a couple other things I still got to do to this. I'm gonna have to get some drill bits so I can drill out that spot down there for the brake or the clutch master. Just some little stuff, but overall I pretty much got everything I need. So I just got to go tomorrow, go get the transmission, and then whenever I get the transmission I'm probably just gonna bolt it up to this engine and get it start fitting it up on the 5-speed subframe, which I still have to pull out of the parts car. But I want to kind of test fit it onto the subframe, make sure everything bolts up, see how it's going to line up with the transmission mount spot and everything, and see where this engine mount's going to line up on that subframe. See, maybe I can just drill a couple bolts or drill a couple holes in the subframe and run those right through the subframe. I don't know yet, but I will see whenever we get to that point. So that's pretty much what my plan is I just got to go get the trans, get back. I'm going to bolt it up to this without the flywheel or the clutch. And then that way I can go ahead and test fit this thing in here and see how she's going to fit. So I am going to have to drop this subframe and transmission out of here before I can test fit the other one. But I'm just wanting to see how that rear header is going to fit in that exhaust tunnel right there. And just make sure that it's going to clear and the front header's not going to hit the fans. I mean, I know with the factory manifolds it was pretty close, but these headers really don't seem to stick out that much further, like maybe half an inch. So hopefully all is good and it clears. But yeah, I just want to give you guys an update. I got the transmission, so I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. And it's just about done. So once everything's together and the flywheel's machined and on and everything's on and back in the car, finalized, the only thing that's going to be left is wiring. So I'm getting really excited. I'm super stoked on how everything's coming together, especially after it being a year and a half sitting in storage. I do still have to change out this wiper motor assembly, and it's pretty easy. But yeah, these are broke, so my wipers just kind of move independently, and whenever I close my hood and they fall down like this, then the hood hits and it scratches up my hood. And I completely forgot about it because the car's been sitting for so long. But I had the parts car and I seen them and I was like, oh yeah, I need that. So I went ahead and pulled that whole cowl, pulled all that off. So now I just got to swap it onto this one. But that's little stuff. That's just once the car's running and driving, that can be done. But I have the parts to do that. But overall, I mean, it's really close. So I'm going to go tomorrow, get the transmission from Wichita, and I will take you guys along and keep you updated as much as I can while I'm driving. But I'm super stoked. So I will catch you guys, I don't know, probably tomorrow, but I might go over to the other storage and do a few little things. Not really sure yet, but it's getting there. So hey YouTube. Okay, so I'm over here at the 07 storage. It's the 06 top swap engine. Alright, so these are the heads for the 07's engine. So like a few weeks ago, my buddy David helped me and we got all the 136 pound valve springs on these heads and got the factory supercharged springs off. And we got them done on the front head, but we never did them on the rear head. So I just went ahead and got all the rear ones on, got all new valve seals. I made sure that all the valves are seated and used my light shining on the valves and checking in all the intake and exhaust ports to make sure that none of them were leaking. So all of them are good on both heads, no leaks. Didn't have any light coming through on either one, so should be solid there. Shouldn't have any issues with the heads. So I've got the rockers right here and the valve cover. They're pretty nice. They had a gasoline bath whenever they were still in the 07 and it was running rich, so pretty much all of them got nice and clean. So just got the rear head complete and touched up a couple spots I missed with the paint. So now I'm going to throw these rockers back on here and the valve cover back on there, and those are good now. I probably am going to end up repainting the supercharger before that goes back on and just give it a nice freshen up coat of red. And I got another ZZ Performance sticker coming for it, so I can redo the ZZ Performance on it. But yeah, it's really coming along. I'm excited. I still have to get the cam and all the other parts for replacing the cam, since the cam's pretty chewed up, but everything else I have for it. So I just got to work on getting that $1,000 for the cam and all the other parts, the new LS7 lifters and the lube and all the rest of the stuff. So I'll keep you guys updated on the 07, and I'll keep you guys updated tomorrow as I'm going to get that 5-speed for the Grand Am. So you guys stay tuned and I'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching. Hey you guys, alright, so I've been working on the 06 top swap engine and trans, and so I went through all my belts that I had and I found the belt for the 3/6 pulley that I had on the black prix before. So I've got the belt on here. It's nice and tight. It does have some cracks in it, so I'm probably gonna measure this belt out and just order a brand new one. That way I have a new one, but for now this one will work. It was running it when the car blew up on the first supercharged engine, so shouldn't be any different, so it'll run it. I am still going to swap out that alternator with the one that's on the 06 whenever I do the swap, so that is going to come off, so don't mind it being dirty. It's getting swapped out. I'm also missing the little bracket, the bolts on right here, and it's just like a little shield that comes up, and that's what this wire harness sits on right there and keeps it from hitting the belt. So I'm gonna have to go back to the salvage yard and try to find that little shield right there to keep the harness from rubbing on the supercharger belt. But other than that, I pretty much have everything. I just can't put the main belt on until the power steering pump is bolted on and it's still in the car, bolted to the lines. So wasn't really a whole lot I could do. But I mean, other than that, everything else is done and ready to go. So I'm gonna finish picking up the little bit of stuff I have left sitting out here and get everything picked up and put up. And I gotta go fill up the car and get some pop and stuff for the road trip to Kansas tomorrow, because I'm going to pick up the 5-speed for the Grand Am. I'm super excited about that. But I mean, I made a lot of progress today. I did the front brake pads and both inner and outer wheel bearings on Ray's truck. He works here at my storage, and he's got a little GMC Sonoma Chevy S10, and so I did his front wheel bearings for him and both his front brake pads, and he said it helped a lot. He's still got a little slack in his steering, and it's all his steering linkages and a little steering box what is it, the pitman arm and the other steering arm. So, but yeah, I mean, he said it drives way better now, so made a little bit of extra money for the trip tomorrow, so I'm not as broke now, but I'm still like, got like $100 total now, but it is what it is. Made a little extra money, so I got some money for pop and gas and cigarettes and stuff for the road trip, and some food, so everything's going pretty good. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, as I think my buddy David is going to go with me, so I'll catch you guys in the morning whenever we get on the road headed out to Kansas. So y'all have a good night, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hey YouTube, good morning. It is Saturday. I'm over here at my buddy David's house, a couple streets over, and we're about to leave and start headed out to Wichita to go pick up this 5-speed transmission. So last night went and filled up the car with gas, got me a couple 12 packs of Mountain Dews, got plenty of pop for the road trip, make sure I got everything I need. So I'm just waiting for him to come back outside, and then we are off. So I just want to bring you guys along and keep you guys updated. And yeah, so I will keep you guys updated as we go. And we just got like a couple hour drive, nothing major, so but I'm super stoked, you guys. I'm ready to get this 5-speed and really make some big progress with the Grand Dam build. So I'll keep you guys updated as I go, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so we're on the road. Been about an hour and a half, been running 80, and transmission sitting at 215 steady. It's doing good. Just cruising along. We're still in Oklahoma, but we're cruising along. Got an hour to go, so I'll keep you guys updated whenever we get there. Stay tuned. Alright you guys, got 38 minutes left. Just passed into Kansas. Welcome to Kansas. But yeah, we're still just cruising along. Running 80, trans up to 221. Still good. Got some police parked over here to the side. But I'll keep you guys updated. Still cruising along. Alright you guys, I'm here. I got the trans. This is at Auto Recyclers of Kansas. There we go, 235,090 miles. Getrag F23, baby. That is the correct bell housing. Really, that slave cleaned up pretty nice. But I got a brand new one for it, so no worries there. I'm excited. I'm ready to get this thing home. So, but there she is. So I'll catch you guys. We're about to go fill up with gas, probably get something to eat, and then we're gonna get back on the road and head back to Tulsa. So I'll catch you guys on the road. Alright y'all, we're on the road, about to cross into Oklahoma. We're at 75, transmit's 221. But we're just cruising along, making good time. So I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, we're going into Oklahoma like right now. Leaving Kansas Turnpike.
Welcome to Oklahoma.
There we go. Welcome to Oklahoma. Still got just under 2 hours left to go, so I'll keep you guys updated. Alright YouTube, so we're back at the house. So, got the transmission. I'm excited. Here she is. And they were nice enough, they power washed it for me before they brought it out. So everything's nice and clean. 235,000 miles on it. So not horrible. But I'm super stoked, super happy with it. That Getrag F23. So super happy with it. So now all I gotta do is get this thing cleaned up a little bit more. David has some purple power, so I'm gonna spray it down with purple power and scrub it and power wash it again at the car wash. Get it nice and really super clean, and then I'm gonna get this thing bolted up to the engine so I can start test fitting once I get the subframe out of the parts car over there and all the mounts. But I mean, shit, overall it looks exactly the same. I can't be any more happier. So made it back. Just want to give y'all another update. Back okay. The car did good. It did, transmission temp did get hot a couple times, and I had to stop and get gas, and so I let it cool down. But overall it did really good. It didn't completely leave us stranded. So swapping out this radiator's helped a lot, and it's really helped with keeping the temps down. I guess it's still, all the water's cooling it, rapidly cooling. Heck yeah. But we're back, so y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated whenever we get over to the car wash and clean this thing up some more. Hey YouTube, alright, so it's Sunday night. Yesterday I ended up not filming power washing the transmission, but I did bring it over here and I dropped it off in my other storage with the Grand Am, so it's over there. The Grand Prix, however, the 06 transmission's definitely acting up a little bit more since the trip yesterday. It is, it's at just under a quarter tank, and it's just having some issues, and wants to keep dying. And I mean, the transmission temp was only like 120 something, 130 whenever I got over here, and it died on me. And then it like didn't want to start back up for a minute. So not really too sure. I mean, the engine runs great. It's not the engine. So it's, I don't know. I'm thinking it's either something to do with this electronic throttle body, or the gas pedal, or it's just the transmission. I did pull the dipstick earlier with it running, and it was just, there's metal all over it, all in the trans fluid. So I'm pretty sure this trans is just ate up. I burnt it up. I mean, it got hot on the way back. It did get to like 233 coming back, running like 75, 80 down the highway with the cruise control set. And then it got to where the cruise control, like, it would start dying and then come back, and it's like the throttle would work again, and then it would start dying and then come back. And then I turned the cruise control off and was just using the pedal, and it was driving fine. It wasn't shutting off at all. So I was kind of thinking maybe it was like the cruise control module was getting hot or something. But I mean, there's still no leaks on the radiator anywhere. It's not leaking anything out of the top hose, which is where it was leaking before. On the other radiator, it's not leaking. I mean, it's got a little bit of transmission fluid dripping out of that cooler line because I bypassed it. But other than that, I mean, it's not like everything is dry. Like, everything is dry. Nothing's wet, nothing's leaking. I mean, everything looks super clean. So, I mean, the subframe's dirty as fuck. It needs to be power washed when I drop it, and drop this engine and trans. But I mean, overall, it still runs and drives. It's just giving me some issues. So I'm going to try to make this thing last another week. And hopefully next weekend, I'm going to be doing this motor transmission swap to the supercharged setup here. So I'm pretty excited. I did get my bracket. I actually had this in the front floorboard of the 07, and I just went through my box of random nuts and bolts over there and found me a couple of 10mm bolts that matched and got that all nice and on there. So now the bracket's on. I found me the belt for the 2.6 pulley, got that on there. So now pretty much the only thing left to do is bolt the power steering pump on and get the main belt on and the starter, and hook up the starter wires to the starter once the starter's in. And then I'm going to have to take off the exhaust manifolds off of this engine and put it onto this engine. But I mean, this is pretty much ready to go. So hopefully next weekend, probably maybe Friday after work, I don't know, maybe Saturday, I'll get over here early and I'll drop this whole subframe out. And so I've got everything I need over here. All my tools are over here, so I'll end up dropping the whole subframe out and cleaning up the subframe as best I can. I'm going to probably have my buddy David come with me. We'll bring his power washer. We'll get some water from up at the front at the office like I did last time and just fill up all the jugs, and we'll have plenty of water. So, but yeah, I'm going to end up cleaning off the subframe as best I can. I'm going to swap out that rack and pinion. I'm going to get this engine and trans off and get the other engine and trans on here. Swap over anything that I'm lacking, like the starter and the exhaust, and I still have to swap out the alternator because this one looks a lot cleaner and a lot nicer than the one that's on the supercharged engine now. I mean, but overall, everything else is pretty much getting swapped out. So I'll probably keep these dog bones and just paint these dog bones because the extras that I have are a little torn up. Since I just made sure that both these radiator hoses were in good condition when I swapped the radiator last week, then I'm just going to keep these hoses on it and everything should be good to go. I'm going to have to reuse those heater hoses because I don't have any on the engine currently. But I mean, overall, it's pretty much ready to swap. So hopefully next weekend this will be swapped, and I have to go drop off the flywheel and the clutch pressure plate at the machine shop and have them machine that 330 thousandths off the flywheel so I can start getting that engine together and get the clutch and everything bolted on and get the transmission on. And I still have to get the subframe and everything out of the parts car with the mounts and the axles and everything, so that I can even test fit that engine and trans and start getting that one, the Grand Am, going. But I posted the truck for sale for $2,500. I've got a guy coming to look at it tomorrow. I mean, right now I haven't been driving it. It's just sitting in the driveway over at the house, and so the exhaust is still not connected to the headers, so that still needs to be welded up, and it just still needs quite a bit of work to go. And right now I'm not trying to put any more money into the truck, so I'm trying to get the 07 done. I'm trying to get the Grand Am done, and I was trying to just get the 06 just to last me and get me by until I can get one of the other ones done. But now the transmission is really fucking up since I went to go pick up the 5-speed. But it's okay. Like, I started throwing this together just for shits and giggles, just to have an extra supercharged engine. And I already had the trans and the harness, and I already paid to have the computer tuned. And it's already tuned for the 3.6 pulley, and it's tuned for everything that's in it. The NA cam, NA everything, with the smaller pulley, top swap. And the only other thing it was tuned for is the eBay headers, which are on the Grand Am. And like I said, I have the other set, but I'd have to get that flex plate welded on and do all that, and I'm just not really trying to mess with all that right now. So yeah, right now I'm probably just going to still use the factory manifolds. Daniel Smuts was the one who tuned it for me, and he said even if I did take the headers and go back to the factory manifolds, I wouldn't need to retune it again. He said it would be fine. And that's how I was running it when the first supercharged engine blew up and chunked a rod through the front of the block. But I don't know, I'm pretty sure that something got hurt in the in cylinder 3. Either the valve wasn't sealing or something happened, and it was just like constantly misfiring in cylinder 3 all the time, no matter what I did. And it wasn't the injector, it wasn't the plug, it wasn't the wire, it wasn't the coil. Like, I'm pretty sure it was either the head, or it had to have been the head. Like, it just had to have been. And I know I did drive it a little bit before I got it tuned, and had the tune computer in there, and I did kind of beat on it a little bit, and it was running rich, doing just like the 07 did when I first got it together. And since it was my daily, and I just did the top swap over the weekend, and I had to drive it, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I just heard it before I got the tune, and then once I got the tune, it was just misfiring. So, but either way, I'm happy with it. I can't wait to get this thing in. So maybe tomorrow after work, or in the next couple of days, I'll get over here and I'll pull all this factory manifolds back off this engine and get everything ready. So whenever I get that engine out, I can just pull the exhaust off, bolt it on this one, and it'll be ready to go back in. I don't have to pull it off 2 engines and then put one back on. It can just already be off and back out of the way, and can just be ready to go. So maybe probably not tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm supposed to be meeting up with Guy to come look at the truck after work, and I don't know, I might come over here tomorrow. I'm really not sure, but more likely probably Tuesday I'll be over here, and I'll get this exhaust off and do a little bit more over here. Also, I'm still waiting on the new hub for the Grand Am engine for the supercharger pulley hub. So it should be here either tomorrow or Tuesday from ZZP, and then I can go ahead and get that pulley pressed on, or the hub pressed on, and get the pulley bolted on to the hub. So slowly making progress on everything, and I mean, this thing's still running and driving, and it's doing okay, but it's still just having some issues, and I'm pretty sure I just fucked up the trans. So here, let me see if we can see some metallics in here. There we go. I definitely smell it. Man, you really just can't see it with this light. Okay. When I seen it earlier in the daylight, I looked at it. I could definitely see some metal in there, some glitter. And I mean, the trans did get up to like 233 or something like that while I was on the highway coming back. And I mean, it was like right before I pulled over. It was at 221 for a while. And then it just went up and said 233, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to pull over. And I only drove for a couple miles. It was that hot, and I stopped at a gas station, and so I don't know, worst case scenario, I fucked it up, but right now it's still running and driving. So I'm just going to try to make this last another week until I can get another paycheck and get some trans fluid and antifreeze and oil filter and all that good stuff and all the fluids I'm going to need to get this thing swapped over. So that's going to be it for tonight, you guys. Yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys probably on Monday or Tuesday. So like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And you guys have a good night. So thanks for watching.